Yo, Ferg here. You're watching SFTV. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about developing a checklist that you can use on each of your Mechabellum games to help you understand what the opponent's trying to do and what you need to do to win the game. Let's get started by talking about round one. Okay, round one, really important. Two things that you want. Check the specialist and the technologies of the units that the opponent starts with, right? These are going to be the main core units that they're going to have for probably the majority of the game, unless they sell out of them. But in this case, Play Archer picking a really strong opening pack of Arclight Saber and kind of compromising on the specialist, which is Fire Badger specialist, which only gives you 200 supplies on round 2 in the form of a Fire Badger. So not really a huge econ boost, but does give you that econ boost. So mid to low tier specialist there. I am training spec, marksman, sledgehammer. Not a good opener here, but knowing how to use your opener, right? That's another video that we'll talk about later. Anyways, round one, check the specialist, check the techs. We see carry arclight techs, and we see the traditional sabertooth techs, no side guns. Next topic, round by round. What do I mean by round by round? Well, each round things are going to change, right? And so you need to understand what's changing, right? So if we go to round 2 here, just hide this, pause the video, and see that, okay, well, he has fangs now, and he also has a fire badger. And so on round 1, we can see those fangs once the battle starts, and we can check the text. But round 2, we now see that he has the fire badger. We don't know where he's going to put it, but we can see the text there. And yeah, very straightforward, standard fire badger text. So we're not too worried about that. Fire badger, a good defensive unit, not necessarily a good aggro unit. And so we're not too worried about like napalm, but like scorch range could be really good against their sledgehammers. But we end up seeing the fire badgers get placed in the back here. So let's hide that. Fire badgers placed in the back. That was to cover the underground threat that was used on round 2. And so we're not really worried about the fire badgers. Play Archer just ends up selling out of them anyways later on. And so we're just going to continue to do our thing and develop our board. So round by round, we're looking at new units that were placed, the text that they have, right? So he took some crawlers. We see loose formation, replicate, acid, and subterranean blitz. So no drill. So if we wanted to, we could match, put some crawlers back here, and drill, replicate, and he's at a disadvantage now because he doesn't have drill, right? So knowing that, we can plan ahead, and a lot of this is about planning ahead, right? So during the fight, let's speed this up and let's get into the actual fight here. All right. So things that you want to think about during the fight, or things that you want to look for during the fight, are things like, did they take a technology? And what did they take on their towers? So this is, even at 2 points, 2 times speed, right? We're looking at the fight and we're looking at what's happening during the fight. But most importantly, what we want to do is we want to click on these towers. And usually early on, you don't really have to worry about this too much. but sometimes, things, players can do weird things and they might click temp range or temp speed or take some enhancements early on. And so we do see that on Player Archer's side on round 2 with the underground threat. He took the defense enhancement to win the crawler war. However, it didn't work out in terms of the crawler war, but he still won the round because the underground threat did distract most of my board and didn't allow me to have a good fight here on the line. And so we're watching this fight too, and we're saying, okay, well, his Phantom Rays are locking my Phantom Rays because my Phantom Rays are shooting at Fangs. And so we're paying attention to that and noticing, okay, well, if we can clear these Fangs faster, our Phantom Rays can get on his Phantom Rays, and then we should be able to kill them, right? So that's exactly what we do. Is we put some Mustangs right here, because Mustangs are really good on defense, and they're also really good against Fangs. So perfect opportunity to play some Mustangs. I have some Fangs too, so Player Archer also doing the same. Putting the Amp Core on the Mustang, not necessarily the best use of Amp Core, but some players like to do that. Anyways, I noticed that he wasn't really defending this side tower, so I placed some Phantom Rays over here to come in late and take the tower. And now we're looking really good. These Mustangs clean up. They do a good job taking out the Fangs, which was ultimately the distraction there. And then our Phantom Rays come in, flank his Phantom Rays, and now he has no upshoot, and we win the round. And we win it pretty decidingly with a lot of damage coming down onto Player Archer. Right, so these are the things that you're looking for during the fight, right? And that kind of ties in with fight recollection. Um, you know, watching during the fight, but then also remembering what happened and being able to adapt your board to that situation. So I noticed during the fight, my Phantom Rays were getting stuck on Fangs. So these Mustangs came in and really helped me out there. And so, yeah, having that ability to recollect on what happened is always a good thing. And so, most importantly, actually watch the fight. Don't just zone out. And this is more of something for a lower rated MMR player. Pay attention to what's going on during the fight because it actually does matter. And so, lastly, I want to talk about damage checks. Damage checks, just click your units, see what they're doing, see how they are participating in the fight, and if they're not participating in the fight, consider selling them. But in some cases, or at least most cases, the units on the board should stay on the board, and selling out of a unit typically is negative tempo, because then you're down a deployment. But with that being said, sometimes a unit is just not doing anything at all. It's just a waste of space. It's not even clearing. It's just dying instantly. It's not even clearing chaff. It's just getting popped right when the round starts or something like that. So it can be wise to just sell off that unit because ultimately it's providing experience to the enemy board with little to no gain on your side. So damage checks, really important. Like these Mustangs, I placed them down, they almost leveled, and they did 10k. Like, great, these Mustangs are staying. My Phantom Rays popped off 69k in one round. Like, that's huge, right? So definitely going to keep thinking about using these Phantom Rays to my advantage. And so, yeah, that's really all that I can think about when it comes to creating a checklist and things to consider checking during the round, after the round, etc., etc. So keeping these in mind as you play your game can be really helpful. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you need to be aware of, but these are things that I think a lot of players don't consider, right? One of the big things that a lot of players will consider is, oh, what spells does the opponent have, right? Um, always being aware of what the spells are is a good thing, right? Um, for example, player archer takes the orbital bombardment, so knowing that that's coming down, I'm going to play around that instead of really think about uh, just putting out more units. I'm going to spend most of my money on shields to protect the units I have, so I don't lose the round super hard. And you can see here, player archer does not shield, and so that's a big blunder by him because pretty much all of his units die to the orbital, and especially since we double spell and we get the oil on this turn. And double spelling is a nice little thing that you can do. Take advantage of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's anything that you think I missed or uh, any suggestions on the things that I covered, feel free to leave those in the comments. I stream sometimes on Twitch during the weekdays at SFTVZ. The link will be in the description. But yeah, that's going to be it from me today. We did win this game, so give me a clap on the back for beating a top 100 world player, even at my lowly 1900 MMR. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.